Welcome my dear friends and students. In today's video, I am going to explain what do you mean by capillarity. That is the capillary action, cause of capillary action, different examples of capillary action, and the expression for rise of liquid level in a capillary tube. So let us consider the first point. What do you mean by capillarity or capillary action? Now actually capillus is a Latin word which means hair. Capillus is a Latin word which means hair. It means a tube whose bore is as fine as hair. All of you know that hair that has very small bores, that is the holes. But practically it is inconvenient to observe such a minute holes. So that's why in our convenience for practical use, we generally define capillary tube as a tube having bore of very small diameter. Bore means hole. A capillary tube open at both ends, having these holes as fine as hair. That is the actual meaning of capillary tube. Now here we practically define capillary tube as a tube having bore of very small diameter nearly equal to 1 millimeter is called capillary tube. Now when such capillary tube is taken and it is deep vertically in such a liquid which either partly weight the solid or completely weight the solid. Ordinary water partly weight the solid, pure water completely weight the solid. So when this capillary tube is deep vertically in such a liquid which either partly weight the solid or completely weight the solid. Now in that case, what is the observation? The liquid level inside the capillary tube is greater than outside liquid level. This is the liquid level inside the capillary tube and this is the liquid level outside the capillary tube. So this is the difference in liquid level. This difference in liquid level, that is called as the rise. So that's why I write here, when a capillary tube is deep vertically in a liquid which partly or completely weight the solid. The example of that liquid is either ordinary water or pure water. Then what happened? The liquid level inside the capillary tube is greater than outside the liquid level. This phenomenon is called as rise. Now when the same capillary tube is deep vertically in another type of liquid which doesn't weight the solid. The example of that liquid is mercury. Then liquid level inside the capillary tube is less than outside the liquid level. This phenomenon is called as fall. So in one case, the liquid level inside the capillary tube is greater. In another case, the liquid level inside the capillary tube is less. Such natural rise or fall of a liquid level inside capillary tube when it is deep vertically in a liquid called as capillarity or capillary action. What I say? The natural rise or fall of a liquid level inside capillary tube when it is deep vertically in a liquid called as capillarity or capillary action. Now this is the definition of capillarity or capillary action. That is the phenomenon of natural rise or fall of a liquid level inside capillary tube when it is deep vertically in a liquid, that is called as capillarity or capillary action. In one case we have a rise when it is deep vertically in a liquid which partly or completely weight the solid. And in other case we have the fall of the liquid level when it is deep in a liquid which doesn't weight the solid. So such natural phenomena of rise or fall of a liquid level inside capillary tube when it is deep vertically in a liquid, that is called as capillarity or capillary action. So let us consider the example. We use this capillary action in our daily life. When we write with the help of ink pen, then the ink rises through the nib. There is a small gap in that nib. That small gap acts as a capillary tube. So through that small gap, ink rises. So that's why here ink rises in a pen. That is the example of capillary action. Or oil rises through the wick. So here we used to ignite the lamp. Then in that lamp there is a cotton or fiber wick. When here we ignite that lamp, then the oil rises up through the capillaries, number of capillaries which are present in that wick. So that's why right here oil rises through the wick of lamp. Third one, there is a particular paper which is used in chemical laboratory, that is the blotting paper, which has here very small, very minute pores. That blotting paper is generally used to absorb the moisture of a compound which is prepared in a laboratory, or we can generally use that paper to absorb the ink or water. Now here this water and sap, that is the minerals, that also here rises up from the roots to the top part of the tree. So these are all the examples which explain that this capillary action used in our daily life. So when we use the towel just to dry up our body after the bathing, so that towel has also large number of capillary tubes that can able to suck, to absorb the water from the body and dry up our body. So these are all the example of capillary action. Now why in one case we have the rise and why in other case we have the fall? Now we have to see the exact cause. So that's why the next point we have to consider here, that is the cause of capillarity. Why there is a rise in case of the liquid which partly or completely weight the solid? Generally we can easily observe the rise. That's why we took here the example of rise. So let us consider the cause of a capillarity or capillary action. So for that again you have to consider one capillary tube open at both ends, deep vertically in a liquid which partly or completely weight the solid, so that we have the rise. So our first point is consider a capillary tube deep vertically in such a liquid which partly or completely weight the solid, that is the water. Now we know that we just see here, when a capillary tube is deep in such a liquid, then the liquid level inside the capillary tube is greater than outside the liquid level. And in previous video we already discussed when we have the plane surface, when we have the concave surface, when we have the convex surface. In case of the liquid which partly weight the solid, in that case we have the concave surface. The liquid which doesn't weight the solid, in that case we have the convex surface. So here the liquid level inside the capillary tube takes the concave shape. So that's why right here the second point, when capillary tube deep in a water, liquid level inside capillary is greater. It means we are here rise. And at the same time, the second observation is that here the free surface, shape of the free surface, that is concave. Now in order to explain this cause, why we have a rise here, you have to select the 4 points. The point A, B, C and the D. We have to take the 2 points inside the capillary tube and 2 points outside the capillary tube. The point A is inside but above the concave surface. Point B is again inside the capillary but below the concave surface. The point C is above the plane surface. This is the plane surface. Here keep in mind, only the liquid which is in contact with the solid, only that liquid takes the shape, that is the curve shape, and the liquid which is far away from that solid, that we have the plane surface. So that's why we have to consider here C point and D point. One outside the capillary above the plane surface, another point that is D again outside the capillary but below that is plane surface. You can say that point C is in air and point D is in liquid, that is the water. Now here let us consider here with 4 points A, B, C and the D. Now we write here the position of that 4 points. Point A is above the concave surface but inside the capillary tube. Point B is below the concave surface again in a capillary tube. Point C is just above the plane surface but outside the capillary tube. And point D is just below the free surface, that is the plane surface, again outside the capillary tube. It means keep in mind you have to take the 2 points inside the capillary tube and 2 points outside the capillary tube in such a way that 1 point is above the concave surface, 1 point is below the concave surface, 1 point is above the plane surface, other point is below the plane surface but outside the capillary tube. Now let us consider the pressure at that respective points. So I write here PA, PB, PC and PD, that are the pressures at respective points A, B, C and D. Now let us consider here the figure. As point A and point C, both are the points present in atmosphere. Therefore, the atmospheric pressure is same for the 2 points. So that's why I write here PA equal to PC. Why we write PA equal to PC? Because these are the 2 points A and C. Both are exposed to atmosphere. The atmospheric pressure at a same height, that is same. Therefore PA equal to PC. Now here in previous point we seen that when we consider the plane surface of the liquid, then pressure on both the sides, that must be same. Then only we have the plane surface. We already explained these 3 cases. In case of the concave, the pressure on concave side, this side, is greater than pressure on other side. In case of convex, pressure on other side is greater than pressure on convex side. So we have to use this concept. Now consider these 2 points C and D, as these are the 2 points, one above the plane surface, other below the plane surface. So in case of plane surface, pressure that is same on both the sides. That's why I write here PC equal to PD. It means pressure at C equal to pressure at D. Why? Because pressure same on both sides of plane surface. We must know the cause. Why we write PA equal to PC? Because both are the points that are exposed to atmosphere at a same height. And PC equal to PD because these are the 2 points, one below and one above the plane surface where the pressure that is same. So here PA equal to PC and PC equal to PD. Therefore, here by using the mathematical property when A equal to B and B equal to C, then we can write A equal to C. So that's why right here pressure at A equal to pressure at D. Now consider the concept of concave surface. Now consider the pressure at these 2 points A and B. Now I already explained here the pressure on this side. Pressure on concave side is greater than pressure on other side. So that's why right here pressure at A that must be greater than pressure at B. Now but we already proved here pressure at A equal to pressure at D. Now if I place the value PA equal to PD, the same equation can be written as pressure at D greater than pressure at B. These are the 2 points which are at the same height and inside the liquid. So what is our expectation? The pressure that must be same at points which are at a same horizontal level. But here the possibility is pressure at D is greater than pressure at B. Now in order to obtain the equilibrium position, the liquid inside the capillary that must to rise up just to equalize the pressure. The liquid inside the capillary tube that will be rises up till the pressure at D must be equal to pressure at B. So that is the cause of capillary rise. We can easily explain the cause of capillary rise just by considering the 4 points. 2 points inside the capillary tube, 2 points outside the capillary tube. Then consider 1 point is above the concave surface, 1 point is below the concave surface, 1 point is above the plane surface, another point is below the plane surface. So that's why we consider here 4 points A, B, C and D. Then consider the respective pressure at that 4 points PA, PB, PC and PD. These are the here pressures at their respective points. Then use the here concept. As C and A both are the points open to atmosphere at the same height. Therefore, PA must be equal to PC. Then in case of plane surface, pressure on both the sides that must be same. That's why right here PC equal to PD. As PA equal to PC and PC equal to PD. That's why we write here pressure at A equal to pressure at D. Now use the concept for concave meniscus. When we consider the here small points on that free surface, then the resultant forces, that is the forces which are acting at that small point, is in such a way that here the resultant force that will act in downward direction. So that's why pressure on concave side is greater than pressure on other side. That's why we use this concept here. Pressure at pressure at A that must be greater than pressure at B. But we just prove the PA equal to PD. If I write here PA equal to PD, then what is the thing? Here pressure at D greater than pressure at B. But what is our expectation? These are the 2 points which are at a same horizontal level inside the liquid. The pressure must be same. So in order to obtain the stability or equilibrium, the liquid inside the capillary must rise up to the height where these 2 pressures that make same. So that is the cause of capillary rise. Now let us consider the important expression, that is expression for a rise of a liquid in a capillary tube. Here we have to find the expression for height. How high the liquid that will be rise than the outside level. So for that, let us consider the figure. We took one capillary tube open at both ends. For our convenience, we just draw a tube with larger cross section. Actually, we just discuss here. This is a tube having very small bore. So for our convenience, we just draw the here larger area of cross section of tube. So consider a capillary tube open at both ends and deep vertically in a liquid which again weight the solid. So as liquid weight the solid walls of the tube, then what happen? The angle of contact is acute and the shape of free surface, that is the concave. So keep in mind, when we consider such a liquid which weight the walls of the solid, or that is walls of the tube, then angle of contact is always acute and here the meniscus is concave. Now let us consider the things which were necessary here. That is, R is the radius of that capillary tube. T is the surface tension, that is force due to that liquid. Then theta is the angle of contact. We have to consider here 2 points. This is the point A and this is the point B. Now we have to consider the surface tension as well as the reaction force at that 2 points. Here we have this surface tension and reaction on both sides. I just draw here on only one side for our convenience. So here surface tension at along tangent to meniscus. So these are the 2 points which we have to draw the tangent. If I draw here tangent, so this is the surface tension which is equal to the reaction, that is the force exerted by tube on that liquid. Now it is in inclined direction, that's why it again split up into 2 components, as this reaction force is equal to surface tension. That's why I write here, actually this reaction is split up into 2 parts, 2 components. That is the one component is cos and one component is sine. We took here R equal to T. So that's why I write here T cos theta and T sine theta. So these are the things which we discussed here. That is, surface tension acts along the tangent drawn to the meniscus at point A and B. Now according to Newton's third law, we know that there is a equal and opposite reaction. To every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. So that's why here reaction force exerted by this tube on a liquid. Now this reaction, as in inclined direction, it is split up or resolved into 2 components, that is T cos theta and T sin theta. Now how T cos theta act? Vertically upward and along the wall of the tube. And how this T sin theta act? That is perpendicular to the tube or perpendicular to the wall of the tube. Now this component T cos theta is not only at this point, but when we consider the complete free surface of the liquid level inside the tube, then we have this circular part, and over that complete circular part of the free surface, that T cos theta act, this component T cos theta, that will act over the complete circumference of the meniscus. So these are the points I write here. So let us revise it. In order to obtain the expression for height of a liquid level inside a capillary tube, just consider one capillary tube open at both ends and deep vertically in a liquid which weight the solid. As liquid weight the walls of solid, therefore we have the 2 things. The angle of contact is less than 90, that is the acute, and the meniscus is concave. Then consider R, T and theta. Small r, that is the radius of the capillary tube. Capital T is the surface tension of liquid and theta is the angle of contact. Now surface tension act along the tangent drawn to the 2 points of the meniscus, that is A point and B point. Now according to Newton's third law, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction force. So I write here R equal to T. R is a reaction force, force exerted by this tube on a liquid. Now this reaction force is split up into two components, but we are using here R equal to T because we have to consider here surface tension. Then T cos theta and T sin theta, these are the two components of that reaction force. How T cos theta act? Vertically upward and along the wall. And how T sin theta act? That is perpendicular to wall of that container or tube. Now this component T cos theta acts completely along the three surface of that liquid, meniscus of the liquid. So as here capillary tube, if we consider the liquid level completely, free surface completely, then we have the circular part. That's why here you have to take the complete upward force, and that is here downward force. Now you have to consider the total upward force acting on that liquid column is this T cos theta into circumference of this meniscus. As it is a circular, therefore T cos theta into 2 pi. That is the force acting vertically upward, and that force is balanced by the weight of liquid column, that is the mg. Now in order to obtain the stability, these two forces must be equal. That's why we have to now equate that two forces. Now here we have to consider the two forces acting on that capillary tube, that is the total upward force and the total downward force. Now total upward force is the component of that reaction, that is T cos theta, and that T cos theta is not only acting at a single point, but that is acting on complete circumference of a free surface of meniscus. So that's why right here total upward force equal to T cos theta into circumference of free surface of the meniscus. This is the circular. That's why circumference of circle is 2 pi. Therefore, total upward force become T cos theta into 2 pi r. Now this total upward force, that is balanced by the weight. So consider here the downward force. That downward force is nothing but the weight of liquid column. So we know the weight equal to m into g. Now use the value of here density equal to mass upon volume. Therefore mass equal to what? Density into volume. So as this capillary tube is cylindrical, therefore the volume of cylinder is equal to area into height. So that's why right here the value of V is A into H. First I put the value of m as rho into V. Then I put the value of V, that is A into H. Now I put the here value area of that circular part, that is the pi r square. So here area equal to pi r square. It means now we have the downward force, which is the weight of that liquid column is rho into pi r square H into G, where rho is the density of liquid, G is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now in order to obtain the stability, that two forces must balance each other. So that's why we have to equate that two forces, that is the total upward force that must be equal to, that is the total downward force. Now total upward force, that is T cos theta into 2 pi r equal to downward force is, that is rho into pi r square H into G. Now we have to find the value of H, so we can cancel this pi. So we have to write here 2t cos theta. We can cancel this 1r also upon here r rho g equal to h. So this is the expression for height of a liquid level inside the capillary tube, which is called as rise of liquid inside the capillary tube. That is h equal to 2t cos theta upon r rho g, where t is the surface tension of a liquid, theta is angle of contact, r is radius of capillary tube, g is acceleration due to gravity, and rho, that is the density of liquid, and h is obviously the height. So from this formula we can find the various things. So for the surface tension we have h rho g and r upon 2 cos theta. So this is the formula for surface tension. So we can find out any physical quantity related to this formula just by keeping only that one formula in mind, that is 2t cos theta upon r rho g, or t equal to h r rho g upon 2 cos theta. So from that we can have the various relation, how this height or rise relate with surface tension. It is directly proportional to surface tension. Okay? It is inversely proportional to the radius of capillary tube. It is inversely proportional to the density of liquid level. So these are the points which can be used to solve the simple problems which can ask in here MCQs, that is the objective. So this is very important expression that can be asked for 3 marks in our board exam. So just keep in mind the two forces in order to derive this expression, that is the total upward force and the downward force. Total upward force that can be obtained by considering the component of reaction, that is t cos theta, and the complete free surface, that is the circumference of free surface. So I write here t cos theta into 2 pi, and that upward force is balanced by the weight of liquid column. So here mg, you have to put the various values. First put the value of m, rho into v. Then put the value of v, that is volume of cylindrical tube, area into height. Put the value of s, the tube has circular cross section. That's why area of circle pi r square. So this is the complete value of weight of liquid column. Just equate that to cancel the terms and find out h equal to 2t cos theta upon r rho g.